Today we're joined by Senior Financial Planner John Copsey of Informed Financial Planning, a chartered firm based in Hull. He's here to tell us about how IFP used the Pointon York e-SIPP as part of their business transformation model for RDR. Welcome, John.
Yeah, good morning, Steve.
Good morning. Could you tell us a bit about Informed Financial Planning as a business?
Yeah, we're a fairly small firm. There's 6 advisors in the firm. That's supported by 4 technical staff and 4 support staff within the office. We have about 1,500 clients. The focus of our business is purely on financial planning these days.
What were your main concerns about RDR and what were the key things you wanted and needed to change?
I would think, like most other IFAs, the adoption of customer agreed remuneration, coming away from commissions and working on a fee basis to retain independence. So that would be the number one concern. And secondly, having an investment process that would support RDR going forward.
Okay. And any challenges you faced in the early days?
Well, I think where we came from was the fact that we had client money all over the place. We had a very, very inconsistent review process for clients. It was a very inconsistent process for, if you saw me, what would I advise you in the way of funds versus one of the other advisors in the team. So inconsistency in processes, inconsistency of review, and obviously with inconsistency comes a lot of time and cost for the support team. So we also had concerns around TCF.
Which options did you consider and what made you decide that an investment proposition via a platform would be the best solution for your business?
Well, Steve, 4 years ago, I would have to say we looked at everything. We looked at wraps, we looked at platforms, we looked at model portfolios, we looked at buying in investment research, we looked at branded OICs, we even considered DFMs. But what we found overall was that they all had their pluses, they all had their minuses, they all had differentiations in costs. But we couldn't get to a point where we said that this would give us an investment philosophy that would suit all clients.
You didn't mention insurance companies as part of your considerations there. What was the reason for that?
Our main concern is the loss of independence, firstly. And secondly, the insurance industry has been quite a turbulent place, as you and I are both aware, over the last 5 years. And also levels of service. So again, would we be subjecting our clients to a poor level of service by partnering with an insurer?
And John, so what criteria were you looking for and what impressed you about the premium platform in particular?
Firstly, it retained our independence. Secondly, it allowed us to promote our own brand to clients and therefore also to other fellow professionals. We like the technology. We like the use of the fact that we can access it online, we can illustrate online, fund reporting online and produce valuations online, very, very simply. Very cost effective and also very tax efficient for the client.
Okay. And can you tell us briefly how the smart fund concept works?
Well, effectively, there are sort of 3 partners involved with this. Firstly, we've got Premium, who are the technology provider. They use something which I'm sure some people won't be familiar with, called separately managed accounts. This is fairly new to the UK market, big in the States, big in Australia. So that they run the platform on which the funds are invested. Our second partner is Barron Hibbert. So what Barron Hibbert are doing for us, they're doing strategic asset allocation. So via use of a risk profile, what we're able to do is to identify a portfolio selection for a client, and Barron Hibbert produce the asset allocation for that. But more importantly, from the client's perspective, is the asset allocation is addressed every 90 days. So the portfolio, from a risk management point of view, will alter every 90 days. The final partner in the process is Old Broad Street Research, which I'm sure most people are aware of. Firstly, they actually select the funds and provide a tactical overlay to the asset allocation provided by Barron Hibbert. They're also responsible for the ongoing monitoring of funds. And then finally, on a monthly basis, we rebalance the portfolio back to the selected asset allocation to maintain risk for the client. And from the point of view of the client perspective, is we're harnessing the expertise of other professionals. I made the comment earlier that I'm not a fund manager, I'm a financial planner. And I think clients understand that. They understand that we, although we can select funds, although we can do asset allocation, they like the fact that we're bringing other expertise to the table.
Do you tell us how that benefits you as a business, but more importantly, your clients?
Well, as you say, the important thing is client satisfaction. What we've found since we've adopted this is that the clients get an investment experience more in line with expectations. So that's the first thing. I think the other benefit to the client is that when we do client reviews, we're not defending fund selection and portfolio construction. We're spending more time on talking about other aspects of their financial planning requirements. From the business point of view, I made the point earlier that we had very inconsistent processes within the branch. So this has given us a lot of consistency in our approach to financial planning. So with consistency, obviously a lot of time saved and therefore a lot of cost. Levels of income to the business have improved through this proposition and in a far more consistent way. The other side of this is that we've spoken to many solicitors and accountants in our local area, and they appreciate the power of this offering, and that's led to more client referrals from other professionals, which we're really pleased with.
So John, as a partner of ours, I understand that Premium recommended us to yourselves to administer the e-SIPP wrapper. What impressed you firstly about Pointon York as a pension provider, and secondly about the e-SIPP solution?
Well, the recommendation came through from Premium because obviously you've got very, very strong technology links with them, which is obviously vital for us. The service from Pointon York, I would have to say, number one, you've got an excellent reputation, and that's been borne out by the work we've done over the last 2 years with you, and we've been very impressed with the levels of service we've got. The e-SIPP proposition, and we found that that's been superb for us and our clients. Firstly, because it's an online system, so we can do our own illustrations, do our own submissions online. Secondly, I would say within the e-SIPP particularly, because there's no need to have a trustee bank account, the client is fully invested, and at the end of the day, that saves a lot of trouble as well. Also, the actual charging structure within the e-SIPP, we find that extremely competitive, and that's very cost efficient for the clients. Other benefits I think have come from that is the fact we have that good relationship with you. As you're aware, Steve, we had a bit of an issue with illustrations from the point of view that different providers come up with different factors. So it was very, very difficult for us to offer advice to clients when we're getting really weird illustrations, but within a couple of weeks you changed the system so that we were able to add our own growth rates and do a far better job for clients, so we're very impressed with that. I think the other thing is with all the changes last April on gap rates, on the introduction of flexible drawdown, you already have it. You delivered flexible drawdown to us a couple of weeks ago, and so the speed of response to the market. You've also got some of the best technical people working for you, so it's great to be able to have the debate with people over some of the areas that we like to advise clients on. The big thing for us with Pointon York was the fact that actually when you came to us, you were already RDR compliant. So it's very easy for us to turn around to the client and say, this is the cost of your SIPP. There's no strange charging structures going on. And again, that's brilliant because obviously we're on a customer agreed remuneration model with our own investment proposition. So the two things marry side by side excellently.
So how has this proposition, John, prepared your business for RDR?
Well, I'd say firstly, because of some of the time and cost savings, we're far more focused on the client. We've already adopted advisor charging through the proposition, and again, obviously the e-SIPP has helped us with that because it's very transparent as to its costs.
You mentioned advisor charging, John. Have you had to change your advisor charging structure for RDR?
Well, as all IFAs will have to. How we work with clients now when we meet a new client, we firstly have a strategy fee for producing a financial planning report, then have an implementation fee, and then finally we have an ongoing annual service fee. So we've gone completely down the fee route, and we've found actually with clients they like that because they understand what they're paying for, because it segments the different things that we all do for clients. So there's a better understanding from the client's point of view. Secondly, it's made it easier to explain to clients products and charges because the contracts now are straightforward. There's not multi-layer hiding various streams of commission, so it's far simpler for the client. The clients are more engaged, they understand what they're paying for, they understand the fact that financial advice is perishable. Just look at what happened to drawdown back in April, and they appreciate the need and the value of doing annual service visits.
Your business has obviously been through a huge amount of transformation. Have you had to make any sacrifices along the way, and ultimately, what benefits do you see emerging from this?
Well, Steve, obviously the biggest sacrifice I think has been time. We spent about 2 years doing all the due diligence and the research into what the investment solution would be for clients going forward. The benefits, though, firstly, it's a far better experience for the client. I think we've got far more client engagement through how we now work with the customer proposition that sits behind the investment process. So that's been, a huge impact on us. The income stream now, which we get from the investment proposition, is far more stable than we had before. So that's made the business more profitable, therefore worth more. Within the business as well, because we've got a far more consistent approach that obviously satisfies lots of the areas within TCF. And, we feel very RDR ready. And the one thing we never ever considered was the fact that other IFAs might be interested in this. And we've now got several other IFA firms that have piggybacked on the work and research that we've done and are now using the investment proposition as well.
And would you be prepared to help other IFA firms through the transformation?
Yeah, absolutely, Steve. I mean, RDR is quite a challenge to the industry. They're more than willing to discuss with other IFAs the processes and the journey that we've been on to get to where we are today.
In summing up then, John, what would you say have been the 3 key learning experiences for informed financial planning as you've moved through this transformation programme?
Well, Steve, as a firm, I think probably the key thing has been the sheer amount of time it takes to remodel your business. Secondly, we are financial planners. We're not fund managers. Fund management and all the attributes therein is a full-time job. And thirdly, when you do remodel your business, you've got to harness other professionals within the industry, and to have quality partners will obviously improve the proposition both for ourselves and also ultimately to the client.
Thank you very much indeed, John, for sharing your valuable experiences with us this morning. It's been very informative. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.